So, first of all, so we're a team of 3 co-founders. My 2 co-founders are based in Spain. Juan Leandro is our CTO, takes care of all the programming. Jose Carlos, who takes care of the design team and all of the designing. And then there's me, CEO, which I say is Chief Email Officer, but someone mentioned it should be Chief Everything Officer. And together we're the team behind VRBLN Technologies. So we've come up with this product, TimeRiff Tours. What is TimeRiff Tours? Well, the kind of investor one-liner is that it's a CMS platform for virtual reality content. We're starting with a focus on tour guide companies that helps them acquire customers through VR tours. Now, what the hell does that mean? So basically, we create content. We put it on our platform. Through the platform, tour guides can download a control app, and using headsets, they can take tourists to a particular tourist spot, and rather than taking them on a tour through physical space, they can take them on a tour through time. So what I want to show you briefly is a video of the content. So this is the Berlin Wall through 3 different stages from various points of view. So yeah, start off with a cheesy quote, but I think it's actually very pertinent. So this is the death strip, and what we did is we have a partnership with the Stiftung Berliner Mauer and the GDR Museum, and using materials that they provided us and Google as well, we created the zone around Bernauerstraße and Ackerstraße. Now you can see the death strip. This is a bit of a dramatic video that we did, but the idea is that each part around this area is recreated through several different years. We have some animations, and we have we're playing with an actual tactile experience where you can stand in front of the wall, you can see the virtual wall, and you can touch the real wall. I think the video speaks for itself. And again, the idea behind this is it's influenced a lot by education, and especially in a city like Berlin, it's very easy to lose history because, if you're explaining to younger audiences this beautiful apartment block, underneath that was a wall. It's very difficult to visualize what the wall was and what that actually meant. So what we want to do is provide a 360-degree immersive experience and let people decide for themselves, let people really experience what it was like. So the first part of TimeRiff Tours is the actual VR content. The second part of TimeRiff Tours, another very short video, is the platform. Now, the platform, like it says, we want it to be easy because we want to work with tour guides and we want tour guides to work with guests. So the idea behind this is you choose a tour on the platform. The tour is made up of scenes, so the scenes are on the different years. In this you can see, you can enter into a particular scene. You can then edit it with text, with arrows, or with images. These can simply be dragged and dropped into position on the 3D scene. So you can rotate the scene around, you can drag them and add them wherever you like. And then this is downloaded into the app, and the tour guide can control it live. So in a tour situation, what you're seeing here is the dev strip in about 82. The tour guide starts the app, and then using the slider, activates the arrows in particular points. It's already connected to the headsets, and people using the headsets can see this live. So the tour guide might say, if you look to your left, you can see the church, activate the point, and all of the guests can see this. So we're demoing the tour at the minute with our partners, When in Berlin Tours, and these are some of the examples live. This last guy, I think, is pretty cool. I don't know what he's grabbing at, but it's pretty funny, this guy here. But just as a bit of a story, I'd like to explain basically where the idea came from TimeRiff Tours. And also basically what the hell this slide is about. I was brought up in Northern Ireland. You might know that from my accent, although everybody here thinks I'm from home. I'm starting to believe I'm from home myself. I've been told so many times. I was brought up in Northern Ireland, and you may know there were troubles in Northern Ireland. So we had the two sides, and as a young kid, you don't really understand much, but you know there are two sides, and you know there's there's danger and you have to stay on one side, etc., etc. When I was about 10, jumping to the second half of the slide, I saw this movie called When the Wind Blows. If you haven't seen it, it's an amazing movie. It's really, really good. And the soundtrack is by Boylan and Roger Waters. Huge plus. But it basically tells the story, without any spoilers, it tells the story of this old couple who, a hypothetical story, they live in London and the Soviets bomb London with the nuclear bomb. I remember at that point thinking, growing up in the Northern Irish atmosphere, thinking, you know, who the hell are these Soviets, these communists? You know, why would they do that? That's such a bigger threat than what we live. And that kind of 10-year-old kid stayed in my head until I came to Berlin, and I was living in East Berlin, and I stood there thinking, you know, the 10-year-old kid woke up and said, these guys were communists. And I stood there thinking, how do we, you know, I wish I could step back in time and actually see what this street was like, you know, see what these, because they're not evil, they're my neighbors, you know, the guys I talk to every day. And a few years later, I went to Gamescom and I tried on the Oculus, and I thought, wow, this is it. This is a way that we can bring people back in time. But not just purely for entertainment, because, like as I explained in this history, it's without getting too political. I mean, look at the situation we're in now, people talking about building walls, we're stepping back into the Cold War. So the whole point of Timeless Tours is that we have an educational purpose to this. So it's, you're presenting history, you're taking people back, they're learning by observing, and they're making up their own minds. So enough of the political lecture. Just to give you a bit of an idea of where we're at and what we're doing. Back in March, we won a prize at the ITB. It was run through the Berlin Senate in a competition called Start Tours Unlocked. After that, we founded our company. We started a partnership with a company called When Berlin Tours. And shortly after that, we developed a platform. And at the minute, hopefully next week, we're going to start testing. And on November the 9th, at the Berlin Wall, we're going to give a live tour day. So if anybody wants to come along, they can actually experience the tour. And by then, it should be hooked up as a tour, not as the demo we've got now. And then going forward, we're obviously looking for investment. We want to build up the platform. We want to make other people able to add content and monetize their content. And we want to branch out into other countries. So quickly, what are the pain points? Just to explain what's been holding us up and what the problems we've had. One of the problems is basically we're running off a Samsung Galaxy. So we need portability. We can't bring a PC and a HTC Vive to the wall. The problem is that the Samsung Galaxy is a really powerful phone, but when we try to render, we have 4K video, we can't really render any more powerful, and when you play 4K video, the graphics quality is really reduced. However, as it's video, when the trees move, when birds fly overhead, you get a real sense of immersion. On the other hand, when you get a still image, you get a much higher image quality. However, you don't get that movement and you lose a bit of immersion. So what we're playing with at the minute is trying to get the interaction between those and trying to see what the correct balance is. And in the meanwhile, hoping for the technology providers to bring out better and better portable hardware. This is essentially the next problem, the hardware problem. So we're talking to Qualcomm about their newest headset, and essentially what we want is something capable of rendering 8K video or a live app. Everything's built in Unreal, and if we could render that and run it live, then that would be the holy grail. But that also comes with a hardware cost, because what we want to do is lease out and have the tour guides giving 5 or 6 people a particular tour. So these are essentially the things that we're trying to balance to try and get the best tour possible. I think that's basically enough background about Timeless Tours. I just wanted to flick through really quickly what we do at VRBLN Technologies. So we're kind of a 3D design specialist for augmented reality, virtual reality, and for learning experiences. So these are some of the examples in the portfolio. All of this, I'll flick through really quickly. All of this has been designed by our design team. These are environmental designs. So these pictures are based on a painter called Antonio Lopez, who comes from Castilla-La Mancha in the center of Spain, and his thing is the very orange quality of the light. And our painter recreated these based on his paintings as an experiment of how you could step into painting. So it was a 3D recreation of this guy's paintings. These are basic architectural renderings. I thought I was freaking back. This is the VR environment recreation. So these are the scenes from the VR tour. These are stills of Berlin in various different points of view. We also did an AR experience. This was one of the first commercial AR experiences. We was using the pass-through camera on the Samsung Gear VR. This is for a restaurant called Sublimotion. If you're interested in eating there, it only costs €1,500 per person. Yeah, a bargain. Maybe they have a lunchtime menu. And it's a complete dining experience, so it's really pretty cool. They have projectors on the table, and one of the courses that we designed was using the AR headset. There's a trigger in the spoon, and when you lift the spoon towards your mouth, it triggers this experience, and you can see videos of how the chef made the food. I think it's just justifying the price. But yeah, we do laser scanning. This was for a history project for a museum, photogrammetry. We do product modeling, which all of this was designed by our design team, everything, including the engine and the watches. Organic character modeling, our designers have won a lot of prizes for these. These are kind of serious designs. This is done in ZBrush. I'm not sure if anybody knows the technology, which is amazing. I'm not a designer, but it's basically like a brick. It's like sculpture. You start off with a digital brick and you chip pieces off, and you come up with something like that. This is again, this is from Blade Runner, and then also characters for simulations and for games. And then finally training simulations. So we've worked a lot in the past on simulations. For example, this is for a supermarket, to teach people how to a supermarket checkout, and we have various different simulations and situations. Banking sims. This was for, I used a training scheme, how to get people back into work. So you can teach them how to use complicated tools without them losing their fingers. This is a safety in the workplace. And this is a very interesting one. We're talking to a few schools in Berlin about this. It was a game based on children from underprivileged backgrounds. And the idea was that each position on this, it was kind of done as a cartoon. And sort of used, not children. And the idea is that every point in this is a particular place within the society. So it could be the electricity office, Vattenfall, or it could be the passport office. And the kid has to go along and learn how to get a passport, how to sign up for electricity. And there's guides and explanations of what they have to do. Plus there's also a lot of games in there about time management, about social interactivity, problem solving, etc., etc. So, I mean, basically that's the project, that's what we do, and yeah, I mean, I think that's about everything. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Okay.
So, right now you showed us so many cases, use cases. What do you think? When is the time that the general public will actually have access to that?
You mean access to VR?
Yeah, no, I mean education or like education, learning a job, like stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons we focused on, because our platform basically has many applications, but one of the reasons we focused on tourism, the first application we thought was education. But tourism is a private market, it's very fast moving, and there's a lot of money. Education is a government market, it's very, very difficult to get in. All the big publishers have all the contracts tied up, and it's extremely slow moving. We've also been talking to museums who are kind of, some of them are very forward thinking, but it's very difficult to get to them, and they're very slow moving.
Because it's very disruptive technology.
Exactly.
For what is already existing.
Exactly. We've been doing this for about 2 years, and the first time we took it to tour guides, they looked at us like we brought in a goat and said, yeah, this will help you. And they just, what the hell, how, what? And now we've done quite a few open days at the Berlin Wall, and tour guides are giving us their cards. And they're saying, this is great, this is, this is, because there are 300 registered tour guides within Berlin alone. And to try and stand out, to try and get people to come to you, you really need something different. So it's completely disruptive, and the problem is with disruptive technology, it's difficult getting to people. So it's not really like we're selling the concept of a faster car. Because you've got the concept of car, I'm just adding something to it. This is kind of something new. And we really just have to knock on doors and bring it to people and say, look, take a look. So in terms of getting to other, I think mid-2017, I mean, like I said, I'm from Northern Ireland. My parents sent me a picture of this market. It's like a market stall, and there were boxes of VR goggles. And I thought, shit, if that comes to a chilly town market in Northern Ireland, then VR is here. But I think 2017, mid, it will start filtering in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Describe the touristic project as a complement to tours. To which point
Sorry, it's very difficult to hear.
Come on, hands over.
Thanks. You described the touristic project as a content management system, but to which point does the content management reach? So does it only involve the nodes you put on the objects, but also the 3D scenes and 3D content?
Okay, so you mean basically can you add assets into a particular scene or yeah? I mean, at the minute, no. At the minute, the idea is because again, like if you think of tour guides, they're not necessarily the most technological people, so they kind of get scared with iPads. But what we try to do is make it really, really simple. So just drag and drop. So we put labels, we put images. In the future, and we need investment for this. The idea is that yes, other people can upload particular scenes, so it's not just us producing the content. They can use our network of tour guides and earn money, monetize that content. And two, yes, you can add particular assets inside the 3D scene. But at the minute, we just don't have we have the know-how, we don't have the money to develop that, unfortunately. But that's the future, that's where we want to go. If anybody wants to invest. Any other questions, or are we all tired? Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, thanks all for joining us. It was a great night, and feel free to drink until you can't drink anymore, and join the demos and network. See you again next time. Bye.
Yeah.